How about that? Usually June 1 is like NBA Finals. It'll be NBA
in the middle of the playoffs. Yeah.
Well, it'll be NBA first round, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because you got to go through the.
Yeah, there's still about 10 games left in the season, 8 to 10 games.
Right, and then comes the.
Then we got the little
play-in
tournament that
LeBron hates.
Is pissed about, even though last year he said it was great for the league.
Well, that was because, not everyone was going to the bubble. I mean,
right.
It was a totally different set of circumstances. Now, the Lakers, let me get this right. Lakers are one in front of the Blazers. Lakers have lost 7 to 10.
Oh, that's a shame.
We haven't hit LeBron saying that he doesn't think he'll ever be back to
100%.
full strength.
Yeah. This is an interesting quote by him. He knows what he's doing, right? Everything he says is with purpose to make him look so great after the fact. Okay? So LeBron is setting up that I've missed all this time. I'll never be 100% again. So, if he wins another championship, the narrative now becomes, oh my gosh, he did. He won again, and he wasn't 100%.
Let me just say this. I'm going to say this. I don't. Anytime I'm in a negotiation, I go to the darkest place possible. I do. Anytime. Ask my agents when you see them next time.
Yeah.
I'm fully, supremely confident in my abilities. How many times have I bet on myself?
Yeah.
You've seen it. How many times have I bet on myself?
I've seen it.
Yes.
And I will continue to do it. And I will continue to do it. If forced to bet on myself, I'm going to bet on myself.
Did you bet over 45,000?
How many times have I, honestly, and I won't go over.
He didn't overbid.
He will never overbid.
No. Because I understand how not to go over. But I will always bet on myself, and make sure that I don't just walk out with a ping pong table and a popcorn machine. But I do have on occasion I'm serious. I do have on occasion the default of I'm just going to go to the darkest place and get to battle stations. And LeBron, maybe he's the same guy. And he's just a friggin' human being with a microphone in front of his face, and it just comes out of his mouth. And he's not like, I'm going to say this. When I come back from my ankle injury, I'm going to make sure that I say I'm never going to get back to full strength just so the people on the Rich Eisen Show and First Take and whatever can never say to me that I'm in declining years because I've already set out there, look for it because I've got an ankle injury.
And if he wins another title, suddenly it's like, oh, look, he's the same guy who said that he's won the 2 hardest NBA titles of all time. Who says that about themselves?
Some LeBron James. LeBron James. And that's the way he feels. Honestly. How many times has he ever said he had regrets for anything? Like that one time, the Jim Gray thing, right? That he would have done it differently?
I guess.
Honestly.
I doubt that.
Honestly, and everyone accuses so many athletes of just, being so into themselves and whatever. And they might be in a bubble or something like that, but maybe he really does feel this way. Like, damn it. This just happened to me. I don't know if I can, I know my body. I know everything that goes into it. And I just know that spring is not going to be, you talk to a doctor, you hear it could be 6 months to get your spring back. It's definitely not going to happen during the playoffs. You saw what happened. He finally got hurt with his groin and it blew everything up.
Yeah.
So that didn't work out, right? It was the worst year of his career pretty much when that happened. So now here comes another injury. He's not used to having it. And he just says something like that. Well, how about that being a possibility? How about that?
I find that unlikely.
You think it's more likely that he actually sat down with his team and say, I know that, just in case
maybe not with
I've come back as a shadow of myself, or within his own head, I want to front load my decline, my physical decline, by admitting to it in advance. I'm going to do that because the last thing I want, the last thing I want to do is go to Twitter and see somebody criticizing me when all I have to do is just put the phone down and go, hang out with my gajillions and do whatever television show and movie I want to do. Literally, seriously.
I think he's the opposite of Kyle Shanahan. I think it's everything.
Everything is staged.
Everything is just for a reason.
Okay.
And with reason to set
and I'll
up,
say that maybe
set up future narratives.
And that may happen in other parts of his career, make sure that players become free agents. and demand trade so they can play with him? I mean, like that I would believe.
Well, he had his team force another player to quit so they could join his team.
I would believe that he does have an architect for his own end game scenario, like the same thing that Aaron Rodgers is trying to make for himself, that Brady did for himself. LeBron said, I'm going to go to Los Angeles, and I want to make sure I've got the best possible team around me, and I want the best possible running mate. I believe that, but maybe he just had a moment where he just said that. In the same way that the play-in game, he's like, this is crap. The person who came up with the idea should get fired. Like maybe he's just saying what's on his mind.
Because he's got to play in it now.
Maybe
That's
just
why.
like everybody I know that gets older, which is like they stop caring what's coming out of their mouths.
Yeah, this is factual.
But he only hates it because he has to play in it. That's why.
Well,
is there something wrong with that?
Not yet.
Not with the year before. You said it's good for the league.
Well, there's fewer teams tanking. I know that.
It is good for the league.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, 100%.
There are fewer teams tanking. Now it's just the teams that are outside that you're accusing of tanking, like the Raptors, who actually just beat the
Lakers.
But they're 3.5 out. By the way, one last thing on this subject, and then we can end the show. Dude, you might get a red smoking hot Russell Westbrook in the first round of that play-in game for your team. Disaster. I know Tatum's thrown it like he's thrown into the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, disaster scenario.
I mean, Westbrook. Yeah. Did you see that stat that he could average 0 points, 0 assists, 0 rebounds in every game the rest of the year, and he'll still average a triple-double this season?
Great.
He's so on fire right now, and it's that Wizards team that could be walking in through that door in Boston.
I wouldn't.
But you still like the idea?
Of the playing game?
Yeah,
it's great for the league.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good for the league.
But you're still fine with that if you get to see a red-hot smoking.
It's fine. We deserve it.
Russell.
The Celtics deserve the way this year's gone.
All right. Yeah. Interesting. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.